Chapter 13. Kill all the lawyers. The courtroom was packed with family and friends who all rooted for me and saw me as an extremely creative artist that took the wrong turn. They all sent numerous letters to the judge asking for some leniency. My lawyer asked for probation. The prosecutor asked for a 3-year youth act and extensive psychological counseling. The judge asked for a statement. I expressed my remorse, saying sorry to the victim's family and to my family for my mistakes. My lawyer submitted a manila folder filled with the letters of support and job offers once I was released, plus the positive reports from the psychologist at youth center. The judge looked at everything, and within a minute he tossed all the papers to the side, pulled his glasses off, and looked at me with his piercing, devilish blue eyes. I immediately knew he was going to do something dramatic. He rejected probation. He rejected the up to 3-year youth act. He rejected any youth rehabilitation programs. He scowled his wrinkled, pale-skinned face and pointed his stubby little finger in my direction. Mr. Mowat, you're a menace to society. You're a danger to the community. You have no remorse for your violent behavior and don't deserve to be in society. I hereby sentence you to 40 months to 10 years on count 1 of assault with a deadly weapon. 40 months to 10 years on count 2 of assault with a deadly weapon. 1 year on count 3 of possession of an unregistered firearm. And 1 year on count 4 for possession of cocaine. All to be run consecutively. You committed an adult crime, so the sentences shall be served in an adult prison. I looked back and saw my mother run out of the courtroom crying with my grandfather and grandmother consoling her. It was another fatal mistake on my part by having so many family and friends there to show support. Bigoted judges and prosecutors love to see your support in pain. They revel in seeing your parents cry. He had his mind already made up once he saw the support and the positive reviews from the youth study. Not to mention the lack of fear in my eyes and demeanor. Being naive to the system, I never knew that having positive reviews of rehabilitation wasn't in your favor. Having family support and coming from a 2-parent household was a negative. It was more beneficial to be uneducated with drug-addicted parents and no support, because the judges preferred to release a potential recidivist. Prison was a business, and rehabilitation was the antithesis of that business model. If you were capable of being rehabilitated, you were to be punished until rehabilitation was impossible. This kept the business running. It was also a naivety taking advice from an inept lawyer to plead guilty in front of an extremely strict conservative judge. I should have done research on who the judge was instead of just taking the words of a lawyer. He was lenient towards juveniles, but only juveniles who were snitches and drug addicts. I should have an empty courtroom or maybe some drug addicts sitting in as my mom and pops. This is what they preferred to see, not a family of distinguished, well-dressed black people. This incensed them. They hated to see that. I was removed from the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals, who themselves were surprised at the sentence. I didn't fully understand what had just happened. My lawyer came back into the holding cells and gave me the sentencing paperwork, then told me he will file a sentencing appeal. I asked him would I be going home. He said a parole board would have to determine that. I turned away from him to avoid spitting in his face while thinking of a Shakespeare quote. First thing we need to do is kill all the lawyers. I spoke with an elder gentleman inside the cell and showed him my paperwork. I told him I have to do 40 months, 3.5 years. He looked at the paperwork and said, "No, youngster, these sentences are consecutive." Consecutive? What does that mean? It means you have to serve every one of these sentences separately. So in total, you have 7 years and 4 months to 22 years, which technically means you have a 22-year sentence. They can keep you for that long. I was shocked.